Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Wednesday morning webcast. Okay, so if you didn't watch the wrap-up last night, please go find it. Please go watch it. YouTube, IGTV. I put it up on my Twitter. It's all over the place. There's some serious trading lessons in there that you need to see. So if you don't watch my stuff at night, watch the one last night. Okay. Because we talked through in the midday. I had a rough morning. Then, watch the video, see how the rest of the day played out, and some of the takeaways from that if you want to become, a better, more consistent, more emotionally balanced trader, which I think is a goal for all of us in this business. So heading into today, you can see that the daily mid-band continues to want to be supported. And so does the monthly pivot. That was that was a chunk of price that had to make up its mind yesterday about what it wanted to do. So hourly chart, you can see they came back, they rejected it right off the open. They tried to take it down, they couldn't do it, and then they face ripped it. Through daily midband, through monthly pivot, through weekly pivot, which had been sloppy resistance to begin with, and they just kind of busted it. They really busted it. And I think it goes back to the weekly pivot didn't want to stand up here. The weekly pivot didn't want to stand up here. And so when it gets back like that, there's so much fuel from everybody kind of being out over the tips of their skis down here that they got ripped. So in trying to figure out whether that chunk of price wanted to be support and resistance, I got bottom ticked out on this one with our standard -5 stop, which I'll do every time because rules are rules, and that saves us way more money than it ever costs us. Then it started to try to convert that monthly pivot, which just screamed you had to be there short because if it breaks this low, it's going to run. It didn't, though. Then they face ripped them. That's where the problem started. So we ended up getting long against the daily midband in and around 75. So the day ended up fine and turned into a beautiful trade. We chopped the afternoon, did nothing. What's interesting about today is we made a higher high. We're now pulling back into the weekly pivot. The weekly pivot and the daily pivot are identical today. They're 28, 83, 42. It should print. That level should print. You've got short-term and longer-term things attracting it to that level. So, 83, 83 half, 84, that area should print. They're trying to do it now. They've made it as low as 86 half. What happens when and if we get down there is what's going to be critical. If weekly pivot and daily pivot want to be support today, that opens the door for higher highs. And if we keep making higher highs, eventually as we get into the back end of the week, you're just going to see it just start to do that float to the upside. It's set up for that. Okay. The only thing that's going to negate that really for me, well, primarily, you have to convert daily pivot and weekly pivot, but more importantly, you've got this 67 half here, which is kind of matched up with the 65 here. So you got 65 to 67 that's going to have to be dealt with on the downside. If you convert that, then it opens up the lower band, down around 28.30, but that's way more hypothetical than I like to get. First things first, can you break 83 half? Can you convert it into resistance and go to work on the lows from yesterday? We'll see. All right, everybody have a great day. We'll be out with a midday update, wrap up the whole thing. We'll be all over social. If the videos yesterday speak to you, if you want to get into some place that's going to teach you how to manage this stuff, how to trade this stuff, how to respect risk and do that and the other things so that a day like yesterday ends up being just basically a nothing burger with lettuce versus a -10, 15, 20, 30. I heard some horror stories yesterday about people. If that stuff speaks to you, come check us out. I would love to meet you. All right, take care, everybody. Trade them well. Talk to you soon. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princeton Trader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.